Hey Dave, what's up, man? How you doing?
Great, great. Enjoying another great Sunday. Excited for the next guest that, you know, ready to learn something.
Yeah, every day is a new learning adventure, right, man?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
Especially this one. I've been listening to a lot of his music and really liking it.
I think it's neat that with the week of Thanksgiving and being thankful, I want to take a moment before I introduce this guest
Mhm.
and kind of we're gonna roll a couple videos of him in the background while we're talking, Dave. And
Mhm.
this is for you guys. Our guests on tonight will be Hunter Root. Here's some videos that we'll be playing while we're talking. But Dane and I want to take a moment. Speaking of being
Yeah,
thankful, we hit some milestones this month. To all of you fans out there, we could not do this without you. You know, we say it all the
yeah,
time. We love you, and we thank you for listening. Dane, I got some news back. We're on in 28
yeah.
countries now. Crazy, huh?
Wow, wow. I better
20.
expand my vocabulary here then.
Yeah, that's a lot, right? So as
Love
the
it.
account, the stream continues to go and all that, and I think
Yeah,
it's because of the fans. We love you, and I think the message that we want to present is we want to tell a story about anybody, ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and that's kind of what
yeah,
we've been all about. Whether it's music or sports or anything, having the positive attitude and the just don't give up mentality that all these
yeah.
guests we've had. So thank you, all of you. We're so thankful, and as we say, we're just getting started. But thank you for spreading
Exactly.
the message of positivity and that anybody's welcome. All you have to bring is a good attitude, and that's our motto.
Yep,
So with that being said, Dane, there's a guest tonight that I'm
yep.
excited. I've been chomping at the bit, man. I've been listening to this guy. You know, I'm always bringing you new music as you bring me the sports
Oh yeah,
stuff. So I sent you this guy, Hunter Root, back in about
yeah.
July. Had a
Mhm.
band for 10 years now. The dude's still in his prime, young dude. Started at a very, very young age with this band
Yeah.
called Medusa Disco. What do you think of their stuff? Wasn't it crazy? The Medusa
Yeah,
Disco?
yeah. It's something you can groove to. I mean,
Yeah.
it sets up the mood for your whole day or
Yeah.
your evening. Whenever you listen to it, it sets the whole mood for you. And get nothing but good vibes off of it.
When I listen to their stuff, I hear this because Heavy on My Back, their new single, is legit. There's this blend of like Jimi Hendrix and then like the Hellecasters. If you guys know
Yeah,
the Hellecasters, which you should, some of the great guitar work, I hear this blend of that. Of course, Pine Box gets a little more serious, of course. And then There He Goes, kind of a little more melodic. And then Cellophane Snake is just this jamming. That's just an homage, I feel like, to 70s rock. Then Hunter takes what he does with that band and then just dropped his solo album, Arkansas.
mhm.
You want to talk about prolific writers, Dane? I mean, this is another, in my opinion, this is another modern Bob Dylan. I'm not just saying that. When I listen to like Grain of Rice, when
Mhm.
I heard him drop, obviously Quicksand is awesome. Town Rat Heathen, everybody's jamming to that. My whole family was like,
Yeah,
"This is a jam right here," And then just the way he goes about writing that with such experience. There's always a story, but there's also positivity, silver lining. Even the song "Silver Lining," he's always giving this message
yeah,
that we're going through hard times as real people, but we're also very positive. So
absolutely.
let me stop kind of doing what I do and fanboy out and just get down to it, Dane, and bring on our special guest, Hunter Root. Hunter, how you doing, brother?
Hey man, I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
thanks for your time.
What a
Absolutely.
talented guy, man. You're so
Yeah,
talented, man. Like I'm in awe to be like the way you write and play, dude. It's a whole other level, man. So we've got
yeah,
some questions for you, Hunter, Dane, and I in the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off, man. Thinking
Awesome.
about this journey with Medusa, which is just so awesome, and what you do with your writing style. Take me back, maybe the very first time you wrote a song, what you wrote, how old were you? When did you get this itch to start playing and writing? How old were you when it all began?
That's a really good question. Let's see. I remember picking up the guitar when I was like 12, and then I remember having the itch. Yeah, I think I was in fifth grade then. So I think I remember having written a song by the time I was in like sixth grade.
Okay,
wow.
okay,
And I remember it was about my parents getting divorced.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
Because so that happened real young. I was 7 when that happened. So
Wow.
already at the time, I had something to pretty
Yeah.
serious to write about in some sense.
Mhm.
I mean, at the time, it didn't feel like it. I was just a kid writing tunes. But if I look back on it now, I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Um, but yeah. So it was that, and then I remember writing a lot of songs in middle school because of Jim Morrison and the Doors. So
Mhm.
I had like a very, very um early songwriting influence from that band. So I was writing tunes almost right off the rip. Yeah.
What a great
Yeah.
do you think about that? Dane, what a great you're a kid. If I got it right, you're about 29, 30, somewhere in that age group.
I'm 29.
Okay,
Actually,
cool.
my birthday was 10 days ago.
Happy late
Oh,
birthday,
nice.
man. That's awesome, dude. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, Dane, think about this thing when the influences that no wonder you're so clever
Yeah.
with your writing style. You listen to the greats. Dane, take it away, Dane, 'cause that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah. The Doors. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an inspiration for, artists all over the globe. So that's
Totally.
great to draw that from even at a young age. I mean, I
Mhm.
remember listening to them when I was a young man, and I'm probably twice your age.
Yeah, man.
So now that you've been touring with uh, Medusa's Disco, and you've broken into obviously you've played for a long time, since 12 years old. You've done gigs all over. You've done events, shows. What are maybe a couple of your favorite shows that kind of come to your mind whenever somebody asks, that maybe you could share with us?
It's good.
Um, that is a tough question. I was like, because Amy did send me a couple, like she sent me some of the questions. So I was like, and
Yeah.
it still didn't help. Um,
Makes it
so
harder.
like let me think. Like the main ones, like I don't want to say it's just the big ones that are the best.
Mhm.
Um, there's definitely some bucket list ones that off the top of my head that were just so big though that it just feels like a dream. So like those were like
Yeah.
we opened for Godsmack with
Yep.
as Medusa Disco and
Yeah.
the Third Eye Blind show we did. Like those are both like 3,000-ish people at least. So
That's
those
cool. Yeah.
all those gigs are like 12-year dues is like whoa, like this is what you always wanted.
Mhm.
Um, but like even just recently, like within the Hunter, like the Hunter Root band, like doesn't like that's kind of more fresh. So even though like that has more online stuff, like online attention right now because of the viral thing, um, like I went and played Michigan, and there was like 50 people at that show, but
Yeah.
it was our first time there at this beautiful theater called Park Theater. Um, but there was only 50 people, but everyone drove. Like I kept meeting people after the set, and they kept the length at which everyone drove to see me kept like it was further and further. Like some people drove like 10 hours to come see the show.
That's
So
Wow.
awesome, man.
yeah, so then meeting them and then taking pictures with everyone,
You're
that's the one
good.
that slips. And then
No, you're
signing
good.
stuff, and then um that like that's the one that was fresh on my mind when I first saw that question. So like
That's
it's kind
awesome.
of hard to say, but yeah, that's
No.
my answer.
But Dane, so for a second you said this, Hunter, and it makes sense to we had a buddy. There's a band called Islander. We're good friends with Mikey. It's kind of like this kind of island rock type thing. And he said, man, he had a show one time. I think there was 18 people there, and he was like, it was a gig, but you'll never forget it because. And then they played headline shows like you guys too, back and forth,
Yeah.
right? And I love to hear that from artists where it really is about the fans, and it's cool because you've had
Mhm.
big gigs. I saw that. I love the thing you did with
Yeah.
Soli and Godsmack, but it's cool that what matters to you, even though those big gigs, which is cool, you care about making music that people love, and that just it stands out to me, man. And that's why we love you
Yeah.
so much because you really do care about the fans, whether it's 50 or 12,000 or 3,000. You love playing for people
Yeah.
that get your music, and that's cool, dude. So my hat
Exactly.
goes off to you. I love that, man.
Yeah, I'm
Obviously,
so glad you get that.
yeah, obviously influence wise, man. I know obviously with the Doors and a little bit of Soli, which I see the connection when you look at like Doors, and it actually makes sense, like the Godsmack, like the transition. But there's got to be a
Mhm.
couple, man, outside of maybe Morrison. I know there's maybe a Mount
Oh yeah.
Rushmore. Your guitar style, man. When I hear you, I literally think of like the Hellecasters. That's what I hear, man. But what's maybe a couple, two or three of your biggest artistic influences on you in your career?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Yeah, the first one is the Doors, so we can just start with that one. And then the next big one was probably um you could just say I guess like it was like 60s like rock and then it was
Yeah.
70s rock. So like Led Zeppelin was probably the next
Okay.
big one.
Yeah.
And then the next one after that was probably like 90s grunge,
Yeah.
which was you could probably just put that in like to Nirvana. Honestly, I'm a huge Nirvana fan. Um, so as a kid, and like that all hit me by the time I was 16, probably
Mhm.
or 18 or something. So it's really hard to cram all the influences.
That's great. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's too many ones that are staple. But like since then now, but now I try to look and listen to like I try to listen to new music
Mhm.
because I feel like it's almost like not a duty, but it's like we should be trying to I should be trying to find good music nowadays.
Right, right. Yeah.
and not just be stuck back then. Because when I was younger, I used to be stuck to just listening to old music. Um, but yeah, now I'll just this is it's a good pivoting point because nothing like I guess I had like the influence of the like some 2000s rock like Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys, The Strokes. But besides all that, the thing that actually hit me most recently and had the biggest influence on me was the Tyler Childers
Yeah.
country music and Billy Strings. Those two artists were actually Billy Strings first actually got me into country music. I never liked country. And then his guitar playing.
Yeah.
But then yeah, it's actually I would say those two artists, man, Billy Strings and Tyler Childers are just
That's
like
crazy. Yeah.
unbelievably like they influenced me like more than I can even imagine. It's crazy.
Yeah, Tyler's great, dude. We know one of his guitarists. Good people, man. Just good people.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
um, I,
I would believe that.
I think it's neat how I picked up on that. And Dane and I were talking about this when we were prepping over for the past couple of weeks for it. I was like, I get this when I look, especially now listening to Arkansas kind of on rotation. I get this blend of like Lake of Fire, Kurt Cobain mixed with like Almond, Silver Dollar mixed with like I hear this little bit of Arctic Monkeys. It's so funny how like
Yeah.
Everlast a little bit, especially when I look at how you're dropping the beats. This is this insane plethora, and I knew
Yeah.
the Kurt Cobain thing because I love your live stuff when you covered it, man. So it's you can
Yeah.
Oh,
tell
nice.
but you have kept it going, as Dane would say. You study the game, so you're studying 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
and now modern. That's how you stay relevant, but you also make it classic at the same time. That's cool, man. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
love it. Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Dane.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now that you're off and running, I mean, you're getting out there, you're making your name known. What do you see on the horizon as we come to the end of 2023 and into the new year? What are some of the things that are on the horizon for you for not only your uh, Medusa, but your other solo projects as well? What do you have coming up for, say, the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, good question. It's kind of the same in a way. It's the same idea for both projects is to build the team because I've been independent for I like the tour. I booked the tours,
Mhm.
and that takes so much time, and I'm not good with logistics and all that. So moving forward, that is 100% on the radar for both bands. And Amy and Andy actually, we're working with them
Yeah.
with Medusa's Disco, which is so awesome. I'm so glad we found them as a home. But yeah, I know like my solo stuff, we're looking for a home as far as booking agent. I'm gonna start there, and like I've been through like a little bit of a wild ride since the viral thing, trying
Yeah.
to build a team, like having labels interested in me, and then like kind of me not being interested at some point, and then
Mhm.
like them being, it's just like a weird dance that's hard to pin
Yeah.
down. And
Impatient.
then
Yeah.
and you kind
The-
of like I find myself getting jaded so fast. I was like, wow.
yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of already understand where people are coming from when it comes to the music industry.
Mhm.
Because so like it's tricky, but like I want to build a team into the real and into the industry without getting into the sticky parts of it if I can.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll get you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna try to like build it internally and not just like rely on a company or like a label to build it for me. I don't know. So yeah, booking agent, and then like besides that, I'm always making music and driving music. I mean that's a
Yeah.
given.
Yep.
But like I guess the main thing I'm looking forward is like the like in 2024 is like the more power moves in the background
I got you.
of
Yeah.
like not signing to label, but signing to like I don't know. I'd love to have a manager and an agent. Like I
I
don't even
got you.
have
Yeah.
that stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's been working, dude. Like so far, look at
Yeah.
you, man. It's been
No,
working.
yeah,
So
it's great. Yeah, it's great. I'm simultaneously desire it and like and enjoying the like freedom of being able to do literally whatever I want right now.
yeah,
Yeah, so
I'll get you. So we talk about and Dane and I say this a lot. That Dane, you have a phrase you talk about if you do it right over time. Then what's that phrase you say, Dane? You say it all the
I,
time.
I said, if you do something well, people will find you,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you don't have to, if you do something great, others will want to be part of you. So, and plus, like you say, when you build it the way you're trying to, as you discussed, it's one of those where you can find people you trust, and and it's more personal, and you don't have to worry about, other influences coming in that, don't have your best interest in mind. So that's a great way to do what you're doing.
Totally agree. Like, well said. And then like, and it's so tricky, because then the more successful you get, the more people just want to like, leech off your success. It's such to say, but it's true. Like, it's harder to discern who wants to just make a buck off it. It's just how it is.
We heard this.
It's a great problem to have, but
we heard this. We heard this coach one time, and they meant it in a positive way, but it's so true. They said that people can sometimes be looked at as currency. People, it's like, hey, and that's why I just love it. That I appreciate you doing this, because we just kind of do this for fun on the side for free. We just love interviewing people we love, man. So it's just cool to interview people that make good music and bring good music back. And I always catch myself now. Dane used to laugh at me saying back in my day. I now do say that all the time. Back in my day, it's awesome change. So it's like, thank you for bringing. And not that I always have to say this because my kids listen. I'm not saying I don't love modern music, but I really don't. So it's like, thank you for making real music. So
man, totally. I feel that itch too. I do.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, though, man. So there's a segment, Hunter, we're going to transition to now. We're going to make you laugh. So let me explain this little concept. This is Benchmark. This is a staple segment of our show. Dan and I have 5 questions the fans have given us worldwide. Now, we keep it PG, but it's going to get weird. I love this. I love getting weird. Like Medusa's disco weird, dude. It's about to get crazy. So, and what this is we bet on what we think you're going to say. We bet on your outcome. So you just got to go with the answer. There's no wrong answer. We're betting on you. Okay. It's
pretty cool. Really funny.
So, yeah. So, Dane, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So first question, Hunter, again, time is not a reality, so you can go back in time, Hunter. People that are dead could be alive for this segment. This is just a little Rorschach make-believe segment. So first question, you're going back in time. You're going to be a part of the 2nd annual Woodstock. They're taking you and your band, Medusa, and you're going back. And they say, hey, we need you to come out on stage because both of these singers are sick. We need you to cover for the night. You're going to fill in. You can fill in for the classic Allman Brothers and take over the lead vocals, or you can fill in for Foghat for the night. So which one are you going to fill in for the night?
Allman Brothers.
Let's go. I had you. Dane, how about you, Dane?
No, it's a Foghat.
Okay, got you.
You can't go wrong either way, though.
Totally.
So this next one, we actually we collaborated, me and a fan on this. So when I listened to your music, I was sitting there. And I was on repeat. I was kind of studying. I'm always listening. Every time I hear what you do with Medusa's Disco, I kid you not, sometimes I get this 90s Nickelodeon thing, like the guitar playing stuff. So this next question, you're asked to kind of go through these 2 franchises that are making a reboot, 2024, and they want you to make the instrumental theme song. You can go with the classic remake of Ren and Stimpy, the old school. Dun, 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 you can redo that. Or you can be the artist that remakes Duckman's theme song. Remember Duckman from the 90s, right? So
I don't know Duckman as well as Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy staple, though.
Let's go.
That's an easy answer.
Got you. Dane, did you have Ren and Stimpy on that one?
No, man. I'm over for 2, man. I'm striking out here, man. You got to help me out.
Here we go.
You got to help me out.
Here we go, Hunter. So let's see if you can redeem Dan on this one. So a lot of rock stars and artists do guest appearances on movies and TV shows. So iconic franchises call you up and say, hey, we need you to host this game show for the night. We want you to kind of be in charge of it. We just want you to host one of these 2 game shows for the night. You can step in and be the guest host for Wheel of Fortune, or you can be the guest host of the old school Jeopardy for the night, man. So which one are you going with for the night?
Let's see. That one is tough. Why is this one the hard one?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Jeopardy.
Oh, dang it! That's my first wrong one. Dane, how about you, Dane?
No, I'm still over.
Dane is striking out.
I thought you for sure you'd just be the opposite of whatever his was.
It's cool. So 2 more, man. So there's on one of your tours, Amy and your managers are adding a new segment. They say, hey, we're gonna do a celebrity hopscotch tournament, and I want you to judge it. Celebrity hopscotch. I don't know where this question came from. So, and you get to pick, like you have teams, like your team versus the other team. Like maybe it's your band, and you have somebody represent you versus, let's say, Godsmack's camp. So for your kind of person that you can put out there as your front runner, you can either have Steve Martin or you can have Charlie Sheen be your celebrity hopscotcher for this tournament. Who are you going with?
Who's Steve Martin?
He's the guy from Keep by the Dozen. Let's see, Dan. What's something else you'd say that he's in? He's a
Man,
classic
he's in
'80s
it.
comedian. So,
Hold on. Can I look him up real quick?
yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah,
Is that against the
he's
rules?
pulling. He's pulling a lifeline. So Steve Martin's cheaper by the dozens, but I know him for Dame. I know him
Oh man,
from.
he was from Saturday Night
Okay,
Live.
okay.
And the
Yeah.
Jerk, Three
It's so funny.
Amigos.
I don't know his name. Steve
Yeah,
Martin.
he's the
I'll
guy
forget
that.
it now.
Yeah,
Okay, definitely 100% Charlie Sheen.
let's go. Let's go. I had it. I really did. Dane, how about you? So
I finally got one right.
you got that one right.
There we go.
Love it,
Yeah,
love
I got.
So
So
last
I'm
one.
one
I
for.
said
That was
okay.
my favorite question by far.
Good. Well, this one's about to get more weird. So
Okay.
I knew of your love for Morrison. I knew that because I've studied some of your stuff a lot. So the last question, you get transplanted again back into the '70s. Says, hey, we need you to make a concept album where every song on the album has to be about this topic, this concept album. Okay. And now check it out. As much as you love Morrison, you could either write this album with Morrison or Jimi Hendrix, both great. Here's the concept. You have to make the entire album about different types of pistachios. Make it cool. So pistachios.
Different types of pistachios?
Yes. Yeah. So Morrison, Hendrix, pistachios. Which one? So which one are you going with?
Dude, honestly, because no, I mean, because it's pistachios, I think it's Hendrix.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Make that rock, different types and
I
all
don't,
that.
I don't know what
yeah.
it is, but he just has like pistachios are just that like cool suaveness to them.
Let's go.
Yeah,
He
there you
just had
go.
that in his voice. I don't know why.
I could see the music video where you're just kind of like making pistachios rain, dude, and all that, just making it go. So it'd be awesome. So I love it, dude. Well, Hunter, thank you, man, for doing that. And that segment is called Rapid. Hopefully, in interviews you've done or pressed, it's something that you haven't had before. So thanks for being a good sport. Okay, love it, man. Cool.
Yeah.
So Dan, I'll get back to you, Dan.
Yeah, Hunter. On this final segment, we call it open mic. We kind of open the floor up to our guests to maybe tell some of our younger listeners and viewers that kind of look up to you and maybe one day aspire to what you've accomplished. Would you have maybe some words of wisdom for them or some positive things to say to kind of help them on their journey?
That's good.
Yeah, that's such a good question. Let's see. I definitely have something to say.
It's all good.
So make sure I say what I want. Let's see. And I don't want to sound as generic as it's coming
No, man, go
right now.
Go with you, man. It's good.
Yeah, I would just say, make sure you have as long as you have support, if people that support you playing music, or just the obvious thing is to don't give up, but that's like a little bit of a cop out. So what I'm gonna say is I always had amazing support. My family, there wasn't a second that they doubted me. All my friends always encouraged me to play and go out and play and do it. And everyone who I ended up meeting through music was encouraging me that way. So I would say seek that, and just surround yourself with the right types of people, and I think it'll find you. A lot of it is about who you know, but a lot of it is about when I say that, I mean finding people that care about that you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier about if you follow your heart, people will find you, and then it just creates a synergy thing. So it's all about people.
Oh, that's good, man. But
Absolutely.
I think you're spot on, Hunter, because there's this. I think what you're saying, and Dane and I we refer to it. We say birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So if you're surrounding yourself with people that say, "Oh, you can't do this, but you're never going to be anything," you're gonna listen to that criticism, right? But what you've done,
you'll flop. Yeah.
So you have obviously got a support cast. Again, Amy's awesome, and then your whole staff. But they see it the people that want to make you shine. You have the gift already. You have to be able to. I'm glad you do, and you have it. So it's okay, have a support staff. Maybe it's promoters, maybe it's distributors, maybe it's people that are sharing your merch or things like that. You have to have that in your corner, right, Dane? So
yeah, absolutely. It's like you said earlier. I mean, that's the most important thing: is surround yourself with people that build you up.
Yeah.
But they're also there in those times where, if you're doing something that's kind of off the track that is going to make you successful, they're able to put you back in line. And that's the most important thing is good people.
It really is. Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
I had another question for you, Hunter. When you're writing, when you're putting together a song, where do you kind of draw inspiration from inside? Is it maybe
Yeah.
something from your surrounding, from your upbringing, or is it kind of more emotional when you write?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of excuse me. It's kind of changed over the years. So like back in the day, you could kind of tell by my influences too. So like when I was like younger and starting to write, influenced by like Jim Morrison and like Kurt Cobain, they kind of
Hmm.
had like a more of a stream of consciousness
Hmm.
writing style. It could, a lot of it's nonsensical. Something like
Yeah.
half the time it can come across that way, especially. It's a lot of the thing you have to like derive your own meaning from,
Right.
less literal, to put it
Yeah.
bluntly. So,
Yeah.
but now, yeah, now that I'm like, um, well, like with Town Rat Heathen and everything, that's the most literal song I've ever written about
Ever.
my
Yeah.
life. And then that's what people ended up gravitating towards.
Mhm.
And that doesn't surprise me at all, Um, I mean, it did surprise me, but just knowing that once I realized that it was it's literally just lines derived. It's almost not even poetry.
Yeah.
Like it is,
Uh,
but it isn't. Like Daddy's
biography.
in jail
Yeah.
for a DUI. Like I'm
Yeah.
just telling you he's in jail. But
Yeah.
like that connects with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I'm like
It's
painting
real.
a
absolutely.
picture. Um, so like, but back in the day, I never would just come out and say that, like in a
Hmm.
song. It's funny how I don't know. Over time, like I wanted to write more about things that people would just very obviously connect with and know exactly what I was writing about. So to get even closer to what you were saying, now I will just literally go back in my memories and think about, not too much, but I will derive more from a place of my memory bank almost.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I think it's like, I don't know, it's like where it's like all your experiences are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm just trying to pull from my experiences.
Yeah.
So
Life's a
yeah,
great
and
writing tool. Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes it's more of like something that's maybe happened in the past 2 weeks. But
Mhm.
if I don't have anything that's happened in the past 2 weeks and I feel like writing a tune, like I will genuinely just be like, I'm gonna think about something for a minute. Because like
Mhm.
but I do get like really genuine itches to write songs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you ever
Nice.
It's
hear this thing like I'm constantly allured by the thought that the guitar is sitting there and there's a song waiting to be written at any single moment in time.
yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
a matter of being open to it. So I don't know.
Just pull
That's
the
how I feel.
song out. No,
Yeah.
it's a great answer, man.
Yeah.
It's neat how I love Town Right. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But when I've listened to the album, I find I gravitate constantly to Grain of Rice and Reverend. It's like it's neat because
Awesome.
it's so. But you think about this because you're telling a story, and it's like I get this. Hey, man, we're all people. Don't judge me. Like, don't judge me.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, and that's what we. Maybe that's why because what we do is we're like everybody's welcome, everybody's loved here, and you have this way of saying with Reverend where it's like, dude, and then you bring us back through Town Rat and then you give us a shining like light with grain of like it's
Right.
a dynamic, this is it's a bumpy
That's
road,
cool. Oh, I'd
so
love to hear that take on
yeah.
the album. That's so awesome, man.
Yeah,
And I love that grain of rice is in your view like that too. That's
it's
so
very
cool.
it's true though. It's very positive because like, hey man, it is like making mountains out of
Yeah.
grains of rice. It's very poetic, Dane. So it's like anyway,
Yeah.
man, and it's cool. It's got
Thank you,
this.
man.
It's almost got this "Oh brother, where art thou" feel to it as well. You go in a whole different direction with it, dude. So it's like,
Yeah.
yo. Anyway,
That's
but
sick.
no,
That's sick.
Hunter, I say it, man. We mean it. We been wanting to make sure the timing is right. So I appreciate you, doing this. It's an honor for us, man.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
don't don't ever let it be said that we always open invitation. Please make it a point
Yeah.
to come back as you drop
Absolutely.
more music, maybe with Medusas. Bring the guys from Medusas. You're welcome to bring the band too. And this is
Yeah.
a show that really
Totally.
supports you and loves you. So let's make it a point to do
Yep.
it again sometime. And as you bring out new music, let's make sure we're showcasing it, and we'd be happy to stay in touch. Okay. So
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, I would love to get the other guys, the
yeah,
Medusa guys on here. That'll be fun. Yeah,
yeah.
we should plan on that, man. Totally.
Good. I'll make it happen. I know I linked up with you on Facebook, so I'll make sure we stay connected after this,
Yeah.
and I'll share it with you. And
Absolutely.
let's
Sweet.
make it happen, man. And we'll have you back
Yeah.
anytime. And if we don't talk to you before holidays, we'll have this out in a day or two. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
man. And
Awesome. Yeah, right
thanks for
back at
kicking
you.
off man. Thanks for kicking off this week of gratitude for us. We really owe you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah.
awesome, man.
Hey,
You're
Thank you,
welcome to
thank you,
man.
drop
Hunter.
off. Of course, man. So Hunter, take care, and you're welcome to drop off. And we love you, man. Take care. Okay.
Right
So
on. Awesome. Thank you guys.
love it.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Yep. So Dan, I'm telling you, man, I love that dude. He's so talented, man. Like there's wouldn't
Yeah.
think of it, man. So
Like I say, every time you introduce me to these artists, I mean, I'm always blown away. You know, what's the things they do, the things they write about. I mean, him being young and the things he writes about and his message and as you've seen there, his positivity and his energy is that's what makes him do what he does so well because
mhm.
there's a passion for it. You know, that's what I like listening to is the passion in their voice and their actions whenever they're speaking. It's pretty neat to see somebody that young going back to those artists that you and I have listened to for years and drawing
Yeah.
inspiration from that and bringing it to, you know, the modern day. It's a pretty neat mix listening to what he plays.
I thought there when he was talking for a couple minutes, I said, okay, so he's got about 9 years younger than me, and there's about a little bit of a gap between you and me, about 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so we got this Generation X. I'm probably on the millennial, and I think he's on the newer generation, and he's the kind of guy where he's been able to connect all three of us, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty special when you can take
Yeah.
generational
Absolutely.
and the girls. I know you said your daughter Sid likes it. My daughter's like him too. So he's like your generation, mine, his, this
And
new
the next.
generation, and you can do that
Yeah.
because he's smart. Viral through TikTok. You and
Yeah.
me, you know, like maybe more of the Spotify type thing, and then
Right.
the generation above, maybe more of the vinyl or like physical. Like he's
Yeah.
smart, man. So he's got it going on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He's got a
cool.
great head on his shoulders. And I, you know, as like they say, guys like that or artists, any artist like that continues to write and draw inspiration. That's what I like to ask where they draw that inspiration from. It was a great answer from.
That was great. Kicking off Thanksgiving week, man. That was just one of an amazing week, man. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Hunter. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you for making this happen. That's the first of many. We have another tour stop tonight to
Yeah.
bring us home for the night. We've got Lizette Sala. She's a pro LPGA, pro ladies golfer, and you know how much
Yeah.
we have a respect and a soft spot for showcasing female athletes, Dan. So,
Absolutely.
she's
Absolutely.
made it to the pros. She can hit a birdie on. A mile away, man. She's crazy. So
Yeah.
she'll be up next. So Hunter, thank you again on behalf of
Yep.
Medusa and Hunter. We'll pause on that and we'll circle back for the final episode of the night. Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane.
Thank you for listening.